inside. Come here. Come here. Outside you'll get cold. I feel bad when you will sit on the carpet there.
You get the long carpet. Well, there's usually a carpet that I forgot to bring out. There's a long one we always put.
Usually you could sit here.
There's a carpet there somewhere. It's us, man.
I knew that girl when she was little. All right. तब कथामृतं ताप्त जीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये बुरिदा जनाः. The nectar of the words of the life for those who are scorched by the world, the words which have been uttered by the knowers of truth, which wipe out sins, the very hearing of which is beneficial, which are beautiful, pleasing to the ears, pleasing to the hearts, which are inexhaustible. Those who recount them on the earth are the givers of plenty. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, 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 people. Stories of the Vedanta monks. In our last satsang, we talked about Swami Muktananda, Banabihari Maharaj in Banaras. He was a disciple of Swami Shivananda, a direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. This Swami demonstrated work is worship. Nishkam karma, unselfish action. According to Vedanta, Karma is necessary, work. There are various kinds of work. Some people perform action to fulfill their desires, karma karma. Forbidden work, do not kill. Nishiddha karma. Nishkam karma, work without any motive, without any desire, selfish motive. That this Swami practice work without selfish motive. Shankara says, Nishkam karma chitta shuddhartham. Nishkam karma will purify the mind. Upasana chitta ekagram. When the mind becomes pure, it becomes one-pointed. Chitta ekagram. Mind becomes very one-pointed. Next step, you will get the knowledge. Step by step. So this Swami practiced Nishkam karma, and his job was to dress the surgery patients. She used to do the dressing in the Banaras hospital, home of service. So in previous day I talked about quite a bit about him, the next page. One day his name was Bon Baba, Bono Bihari Maharaj. Bono Bihari is another name of Krishna. Bon means forest, Bihari means traveler, dweller in the forest, Krishna. That was his pre-monastic name. So a young monk asked him, Swami, previously he used to go to Vishwanath from our hospital to Vishwanath temple, nearly more than a mile. He used to go to bow down Lord Vishwanath, Mother Annapurna every day after taking bath in the Ganges. Now you cannot go. Don't you feel bad? Your many years of practice, but now you cannot go. Then the Swami replied, no, let me tell you what I do. I perform worship in the hospital. Suppose a patient has come, I will have to wash that wound with saline water or hydrogen peroxide. I cleaned. At that time I think that I am pouring water on the head of Lord Shiva. After washing, I take some ointment and put on the wound. At that time I think that I am putting sandal paste on the head of Lord Shiva. Then I gauge that cloth, I put inside the wound and then bandage. At that time I think that I am putting Billa Patra, bell leaves on the head of Lord Shiva. Then I put the bandage, and at that time I repeat mantra. This is the way I get peace and satisfaction. He is telling this young monk that how the work can be worship. If you the sick people who worship them, serve them in this attitude, you will get the result. One day he was carrying food to the patients and found one patient was sleeping. So somebody says that he did not have any sleep, let him sleep. You wait. So he waited. Lunchtime is over, he was hungry. He drank a cup of tea in the morning. That food bell, at 12 o'clock, noon is the lunch time, lunch bell. Till 2:30 he waited till the patient get up from his sleep. Then he fed this patient. Then he went for his lunch. The patient was telling Maharaj, I am very sorry that you are waiting for me for food. But he had tremendous satisfaction. He served the patients last 60 to 65 years. And he was so much respected by the people. People would think that he was a living Shiva. And they had so much faith that if he touches my body, I'll be cured. All is calm, quiet, serene, happy, smiling, joyful face. He had hernia. Nearly 35 years he suffered from hernia. But he did not care. The brahmachari who wrote these Reminiscences, another Swami came to my room and said, hey, his hernia strangulated. We put the ice cap, but it is not reducing. So he immediately called the surgeon. The surgeon knew, Dr. Sinha. But right now bring him to OT, an operation theatre. And he did the surgery. Then the head Swami said, my goodness, we requested so many years, we could not make it, but you arranged this hernia operation, we are very happy. Then gradually he was cured and started to work as usual. There was another Swami Uday Maharaj. I still remember, I met him in 1986. He used to come to my room. He used to practice austerity in Uttarkashi, Rishikesh. Sometimes I used to give money to these old monks, those who are in the Himalayas, so that they can have some food. Uday Maharaj, I still remember him. So these two monks who used to talk sometimes. They say, brother, I'm ready to go. No more desire for this world. Then these two monks, they used to, Banabihari Maharaj and Uday Maharaj, they used to talk. And then next day they found he was missing. They found him in the Ganges, in Banaras. And when he was told to him, he was not informed, Banabihari Maharaj. He was very much depressed because his friend has gone. After hernia operation, he was well for 1.5 years. Sometimes he used to get some kind of a stomach pain. So I used to give him injection. And he developed some kind of jaundice. So they did the surgery for to remove the stone from his gallbladder. But at that time he was 84 years old. But unperturbed. Disease, sickness, nothing bothered him. It was 1991. 8 or 10 brahmacharis told him, Maharaj, we have a plan. What is your plan? We shall put you in a wheelchair and take you to Vishwanath. He was very happy because nowadays he cannot go there. So they put him into the wheelchair, and first they took him to Dasashwamedh Ghat. He put some Ganges water on his head. Then there's a lane there, Vishwanath, Shakshi Ganesh, Junji Raj Ganesh. The moment the priests and the pandas, the guides, they saw him, Hara Hara Mahadev, they started to shout. And all pilgrims, everybody is out. Hey, Bon Babaya, he has come. Generally, that temple is very crowded. But for him, whole temple was open. No, so that he can do the worship as long as he wants. He did the worship, and all the priests came and put bhasma on his forehead, and they are chanting, and the brahmacharis also singing and chanting. He was very happy. They chanted Shiva Mohimno Stotra, and the pujari, the priest, read the Rudri, that it is from the Yajurveda. So, and he was very happy. Then he went to Annapurna temple. There also priest took him inside. He was so much loved and respected by the people. Then he came back, he was very happy. He arranged that every day on Swami Vivekananda's birthday, there are some lepers colony and other sick people on the bank of the Ganges. He arranged khichdi, some potato curry, sweets, rice pudding, and feed all the sick people on the street. In 1992, Swami Bhuteshanandaji visited Banaras, and he went to bow down. He could not bend because all these years he was dressing standing, so his feet swelled and his knee could not bend. 8-10 hours standing continuously and pressing. He could not bend his knee. So he could not bow down to the President Swami. Oh, no, you will not have to bow down. Through your hands you cure so many people. Let me touch your hand. I remember once you also served me. But you used to dress me every day in Banaras. He arranged a feast. Generally when monks die, the devotees or some people arrange feast for the other monks. So before his death, he arranged feast in Vishwanath temple, in Kal Bhairav, Annapurna, Kedarnath, Bochuk Bhairav, Advaita Ashram. Once he fed people. Some devotees would give money to him, or he sometimes say, Maharaj, what can I do for you? Feed these people, feed this monk. That's who he is. He did not have money. He gave his own panjara. Then when he could not go to the hospital to serve the patients, he decided that I shall not take food from the ashrama anymore. Where will he get food? In Banaras we have two ashrama. That is this is Shevasrama hospital, the other is Advaita Ashrama, where Sri Ramakrishna's temple is there, worship is there. So he sent this brahmachari and asked the abbot of the monastery, but please give me 1 meal a day, because I cannot have food here. Why? Because I am not giving any service. If I do not give service, 65 years this monk gave service. Now he cannot give service. So I cannot have food. Then he told the story. It happened, Swami Brahmananda was in Banaras, sometimes in 1920, 21. So he asked a brahmachari, hey, what kind of work you do? So somebody says, I do this or this. Hey, you work very little here. You are not supposed to eat hospital food. You must go to the monastery. There food for the monks. Here food for the patients and the monks. Those who work there, here. So he remembered that one. So he doesn't want to do that. You know, it is called work ethics. If I cannot work, I shall not take food. I must give some service if I take food from the monastery. That he was telling the monks. And when he used to eat towards the end of his life, somebody would read Ramcharit Manush. It is by Tulsidas. Some people would read Gospel and other books. Then one young brahmachari asked, Maharaj, how can I get rid of lust? Well, I got by the grace of my Guru. Then he says, as long as you have a human body, lust will be there, till death. But do you know what Holy Mother said? That what happens, the snake charmers, when they know some dust, in a cobra, they put that dust and repeat a mantra, immediately that cobra bends his head on the ground. So those who repeat mantra and think of Sri Ramakrishna, it's just like that lust cannot rise in the mind. That he was talking about. Then he says, Purve sadhu urbe chai tabu sadhur gun gai. A monk declares that I am pure, I am pure. When he dies and when his body is cremated, his ashes will declare, I am pure, I am pure, I am pure. That he quoted. It is a saying. Purbe sadhu urbe chai tabe sadhur gun gai. Then I shall glorify that he is a genuine monk. Well, Maharaj, did you become angry any time? Well, of course I become angry. If I see somebody is trying to do anything wrong in the ashrama, I become angry. If I see somebody is trying to disturb our activities, I become angry. Then this brahmachari wrote, this monk wrote that these are the characteristics, some of the special things I watched in his life. First, he never criticized anybody. No gossip, no criticism. Second, he did not take any advantage. In Banaras, very extreme climate. In summer, very hot. Winter, very cold. So the head Swami decided to give him an air cooler, summertime. He said, no, if you can give air cooler to every monk, then I can have. And I have seen all the year round, he used to sleep in the veranda. There is a mosquito curtain, it is some kind of folding bed, camp cot. I used to talk and sometimes we used to chant. Great sadhu. No heater in his room in winter time. He used to call monks bhai, brother, apni, you. Always he used to respect even to the young monks. And when he used to talk to the people with folded hands, I have never heard any in my life that he talked any harsh words to anybody. That for a long time standing, working in a dressing room, he could not bend his knee. But for that reason, he would never complain. More or less, his health was pretty good. Sometimes he accept his knee problem. And always joyful, happy. Sometimes he could eat well. 8, 20, 10 Rasagullah he would eat. In 1996, 15 June, Saturday, at the entrance of our monastery and the hospital, there is a small Shiva temple. So he was taken by wheelchair so that he could bow down to the Lord Shiva. It was 8:30. A very young boy named Santosh used to live near him. So this monk wrote that leaving him, I went to the hospital to work, but this worker called him, but Maharaj is doing something, please come. He is not well. But I rushed, but they said that he was, last breath was coming. Then I ran and called 2 other monks, they are doctors. They came, then but he's gone. Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna, Hari Om Ramakrishna. We chanted. At the age of 93, Swami passed away at 8:40 morning. Then his death news spread. It went to television and the radio and all over the place. Whole Banaras people knew one Baba died. So his body was taken to the Ashram Ghat. 2 big boats are had, one for the monks and another for the devotees. Then they drove the boat in the middle of the river near Manikarnika and Sindhya Ghat. There, generally we chanted what is called Shiva Vaimna Stotram and many various songs, Purusha Shuktam. Then some monastics knew when they died, they put an ochre cloth, bhasma, put a begging bowl, all these things. Then they tie the body with a big piece of a stone and they drop it into the middle of the Ganges. But that was done. But though his physical body, his body is not there, but he set an example to the monks. What is called an ideal karma yogi, he set an example. You know, he never gave any lecture, did not write any article, but he demonstrated what true religion, how to serve in his life. Next is Swami Jagadananda in Vrindavan. He was a disciple of Holy Mother. He was the headmaster of a school. Extremely learned. He became a monk in 1916 and died in 1951 at the age of 72, a disciple of Holy Mother, authority of the Vedanta literature. Most of his life he only taught Vedanta and demonstrated what he is a Nwara Brahman. That look how a Nwara Brahman lives in this world. Holy Mother told about him that in a previous life he was a yogi. He was in Almora, summertime, Almora school. Then he came to Vrindavan, the playground of Krishna, which is a very hot place, summer, winter cold. He came to Vrindavan in 1949. Well, I thought, I'm not doing, he has some diabetes. Well, I was thinking to go and just stay in Vrindavan, but not for pilgrimage, but just for having some treatment there. So he brought some clothes with him. Swami Chetanananda Puri Maharaj, I knew him very well. Then he was talking about Kashmir. He wanted to go to Kashmir. He is the heaven on earth, beautiful part of the country, mountain, lake, trees, flowers. But wherever he went, he used to give classes, Vedanta classes. He used to train the monks. He is a monk's monk. But it is a great fortune if somebody could study Vedanta from him. Or Swami Sridharanandaji studied Vedanta from him. So he started to teach Brihadaranyaka Upanishad with Shankara's commentary. I remember Swami Bodhatmanandaji told me a story. He was at that time in Vrindavan. In the evening, sometimes Swami used to give a class. One day Bodhatmanandaji said, Maharaj, you are giving class. That time I meditate. Next one. My goodness. I'm not supposed to disturb anybody's meditation. Brother, why did you not tell me earlier? I have to give class in another place, not in this side of the where you meditate. Being a monk, I shall disturb anybody's meditation. Impossible. Bodhatmanandaji told me this incident. Sometimes when the students come, generally used to train the monks, he used to explain, listen carefully, these three things. Drigdishya vivek, avastatraya, onannadhyasa. Drigdishya vivek means, who is the seer? Who is the seer? Who sees? Rupam drishyam lochanam drik. A house, trees, plants, pictures, home. These are the drishya, seen. Who is the seer? Eyes. My eyes are seeing all these things. Tattva drishyam. Manasam tu drashta. Again, these eyes are the seen. The seer is the mind. It is the mind sees everything. Without mind, eyes do not see. If the mind is not connected with the eyes, I am looking at you, I am not seeing you at all, because my mind is not there. It is the mind must be connected, otherwise we cannot see. It is called Drigdrishya Vivek. Then, Tattva Drishyam Drishyadhi Vrittayu Drigiva Natu Drishyati. Again the mind becomes the scene. Over the mind, waves are waves, thought waves are continuously flowing over the mind. Who is this here? Atma. Atman is the seer. Drigeva, not to Drishyati. Then who is the seer of the Atman? Don't go further. Stop there. That is the Drigdrishya Vivek. This whole world, outside world is the seen. Eyes are the seer. Then eyes are the seen, mind is the seer. Again the thought waves of the mind are the seen, the Atman is the seer. That is final. That is we try to understand this world. That is called Drigdishya. Then
From Upanishad? That's from the Upanishad?
no, it is a Drigdishya, it is a small book
Small.
by Shankara.
Oh, yes.
Then Avasthatraya. If Vedanta, if you want to understand, you will have to understand Avasthatraya. 3 stages. How do you function in this world? The sense world. How? Jagrata Avastha, waking stage. In the waking stage, you perceive this world through the senses. You will perceive, you get the knowledge of this whole world through the senses. Jagrat, waking stage. Next, sleep stage. At that time you perceive, you enjoy this world through the mind. You are lying down in California, you are thinking your friends are in New York, you are going to a restaurant, eating, going to a movie. But when you get up, you see you are in California. But through the mind, you are gone so many places. That is called Shapno. Waking stage, this is dreaming stage. Whole world is nothing but dream. Dream. There was a Greek philosopher. He used to preach these things. The world is a dream. So one day, his disciples tied his leg and pulled him on the street. And the cuts and bruises, then the disciple said, do you still hold the view that the world is a dream? Oh, yes, but very painful dream. This world is a very painful dream. Really, manaspandanameva jagat. This world is nothing but the vibration of the mind. Whole world is in the mind. In deep sleep, where the world goes. Where does the world go in deep sleep? Boom! Merge into cosmic ignorance. Get up from your bed, again world rises. Where? In the mind. This whole world is in the mind. That he explained. Dream stage. Then Shushupti, deep sleep. Your senses are gone. Your mind is gone. Who is there in deep sleep? Who is in deep sleep? Does consciousness remain in deep sleep or not? Consciousness remains. How? You were sleeping, a thief entered your room, and then it took away everything. Then you got up in the morning, you said, I was sleeping so much, I did not know that the thief came and stole my everything. So the knowledge of not knowing anything also is there in deep sleep. I did not know. That consciousness of not knowing, negative way, is in deep sleep. Deep sleep. Deep sleep. Who preserves the body in deep sleep? Your senses are not there, mind is not there, buddhi is not there, intellect, nothing is there. Who is preserving your body? Prana. You are breathing. Otherwise you would be dead. It is the prana. Your breathing preserves the body, even in deep sleep. Amazing the way Vedanta explains this thing. Here is a fish. Sometimes this bank of the river, sometimes in the middle of the river, sometimes the other bank of the river. Again it comes back from this bank of the river. That is Jagrut Swapna Sushupti. Waking, dreaming, sleep. Again, 70 years, 80 years, as long as we are alive, we are going through these three stages. Every day we travel three places. Maya. What is the fourth stage? Turiyo. Chaturthamiti Mannate. Fourth stage is the Atman. Behind these three stages. Above these three stages is the Atman. That is a true nature, pure consciousness. That you explain. Third, Ananyadhyas. Do you know what is happening on you? Your Atman, pure consciousness, is reflecting on the Buddhi, your mind. And this mind also is reflecting on the Atman, which is called Ananyadhyas. Superimposition. One is imposed on this, another is imposed on this. When the Atman is imposed on the mind, you have conscious. All consciousness comes from the Atman, pure consciousness. Otherwise it is dead body. Your body is dead. It is consciousness. So it is the consciousness which animates the human system. Body, mind, organism, animates. And again this mind is reflects on the Atman and makes it limited. I am Chetanananda, I am a Swami, I am a monk. I am limiting that in my infinite nature, superimposing on the Atman, consciousness. Instead of I am Brahman, I am telling I am Chetanananda. I am limiting my infinite nature. Ekaival Ananyadhyas. Mixing each other. And that is called bondage. So these things he explained. This is going on every day in all of you. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. I have told you the quintessence of Vedanta. Now, you may read many books. I remember in our Vedanta class, our principal Swami told us, read this book, Vedanta Sara by Sadananda Yogindra. It is the manual book of Vedanta. But if you are great mastery over this book, you know hundreds and thousands of Vedanta literature. You know the basic. You know the technical words of the Vedanta philosophy. How does Vedanta? First it says, Vastutava Sachidananda Brahma. Brahman is the main thing. You are that Brahman. But do you know what happened? Odhikari, the jiva, individual soul, is superimposed by ignorance, Maya. And that is the reason this is called superimposition. And Vedanta will teach you de-superimposition. Hypnotization, de-hypnotization. That Vedanta teaches. We are all hypnotized. I am a man, I am a woman, I am an American, I am an Indian, I am learned, I am not learned, I am this, I am that. This is all superimposition of the Atma. And I am monobuddha ahankara chittani naham. I am neither the body, nor the mind, nor the senses. That is called de-superimposition. In this way, you de-superimpose. So he says, this is the way Vedanta works. Superimposition, de-superimposition. And then, how to hypnotize yourself? There is a mantra, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahman. That is a mantra. Tattvamasi, thou art that. And final, Jivan Mukti, free. while living. That is the goal of Vedanta philosophy. So he is talking about these basic things. If you know, bas, you will not have to read too many books. But his class was just like meditation when he would give class, because he is speaking with his own experience, conviction. He made a remark that Shankaracharya did not get the knowledge of Brahman by reading Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. He got it by the grace of his Guru, Govindapada. Vivekananda did not get the knowledge of Brahman by reading the scriptures. He got it by the grace of Thakur, Sri Ramakrishna. But for the knowledge of Brahman, we don't need to study Vedanta literature. Then what is the necessity of these classes? Swamiji says, in a religious organization, if there is no study of the scriptures, that organization falls, goes down. The religion at that time goes on to Charanamrita and Prasad. No. It becomes emotion, fanaticism comes. It is extremely important to study the scriptures. A scriptural study and meditation are not different. Yeah, I sometimes ask people, before you sit for meditation, read a little Gospel of Ramakrishna. You will get quick connection. He used to give Gita class, the Bhakya Vritti Upadesh Shastri. In winter time again, he came to Vrindavan, but because in Almora is very cold. Though his health was not good, but at the time of class, he will find that he is in a different world. He passed away in Vrindavan, which is the Dvaita Bhumi, playgrounds of Krishna. He is a non-dualist. Those who will come to Ramakrishna, they will not be Jnani, they will be big Jnani. They will get knowledge and devotion both. Sometimes he used to tell that, Uddhava, Krishna's cousin and friend, he was a Jnani, not a Brahman. Krishna sent Uddhava to console the gopis in Vrindavan when Krishna left. So Uddhava asked the gopis, why are you crying and weeping and waiting for Krishna? Krishna is Brahman. He is in the heart of everybody. Why are you crying? Then the gopis told Uddhava, "O Uddhava, how do you meditate?" But I meditate with my mind. But we have no minds. Krishna stole our minds long ago. We are mindless. Our body is there, but our mind is with Krishna. Our mind is not in the body. My voices. Krishna could, Uddhava could just answer the gopis. You are asking us to meditate on Krishna, but you need a mind to meditate. We have no minds. Shh. Uddhava says, I bow down to you. May I be born like a Lata Gulma, like trees and plants in Vrindavan, and take the dust of the feet of these girls. Uddhava was telling him. It is in the Bhagavatam. Then after teaching Vedanta, he says, if you have a desire that I will be a scholar and writer and orator, you will not get the knowledge of Brahman. Your desire focus in other direction. Chitta Shuddhi, purification of the mind. Do you know what Chitta Shuddhi means? You used to take Vividisha. There are two kinds of sannyas. Vidvat sannyas, Vividisha sannyas. Vidvat sannyas means they take monastic vows after realizing God. Like Shankaracharya, Sri Ramakrishna, Chaitanya. After God realization, they take monastic vows. Or Vividisha sannyas means before God realization, they take the vows. Like us, we took Vividisha sannyas. To realize God, we took sannyas. What is the main obstacles of God, Brahman, knowledge of Brahman? Asambhavana, viparit bhavana. Asambhavana means impossible. I cannot do it. Impossible, impossible, impossible. That you think. Oh, I am a jiva. Oh, I am a sinner. Oh, I am nobody. Oh, I am a sinner. You are Brahman, but you forgot it. That's asambhavana. Viparit bhavana means you think something different. Instead of Brahman, you think I am this, I am that. That's called viparit bhavana. Opposite thoughts. These are the two obstacles. Swami used to teach with authority. He never criticized anybody, never censured or hated. He never seeing people, hey, you got some weight, oh, you are so lean, thin. He never spoke these things, but that means your mind is in the body. He never reminded others that you have a body. He had tremendous memory. Always smiling, joyful. But he was not indifferent. He was to inquire about the activities of the order and the center. In 1951, a deputy from Bombay offered money to have a women's ward in the hospital. But whatever money is necessary for women's wards, I shall give. I remember I first went to Vrindavan in 1959. I was in the guest house, and my roommate was an Parsi engineer from Bombay. At that time, the new hospital was under construction. We are near the bank of the Jamuna River. Small. Oof, there are a lot of cobra there. And peacock, full of peacocks. Near my window, all big, big peacocks are. To that monk, that person I used to see, early in the morning he used to go and evening he used to come back, this engineer. And she said, God gave the day for work. God gave the night for prayer and meditation. I shall never forget that old man's advice to me. Before joining, I was in Vrindavan. God come, সেই জন্য শ্রদ্ধেয় আচার্য বলতে মানুষকে মুক্ত করবার জন্য ভগবান God comes two forms to liberate human beings. First, he comes as a guru. Second, he comes as a Shruti, as a scripture. Shruti is the mother. Scripture is the mother and Guru is the father. They are not too different. Both are same. Two different forms of the same Atman. Without Shraddha, sincerity and faith, nobody can have self-knowledge. This Swami in Belur Math, he was cutting vegetables. And Holy Mother came during Durga Puja time in Belur Math, and she made a remark. I see my sons, my children are cutting vegetables very well, this and that. So this Swami replied, all depends upon Mother's grace. Some people get that grace by japam and meditation and prayer. Some people get grace by cutting vegetables. Cutting vegetables, some people get grace. Mother looked at him and blessed him. There, he translated Ramakrishna and Ramakrishna, the great master. He translated many Sanskrit books into English. He's a great scholar and amazing person. A Swami was in Vrindavan, I knew him, Swami Dhyanananda, he wrote it. Vrindavan is Swami Jagadananda Maharaj. So they are all great monks of the Ramakrishna order. Anyhow, up to this tonight. So tonight is our last class in this summer. I shall leave for St. Louis on the next Friday, on the 22nd. And we have several classes.
Not enough this year, but it's still good.
I'm sorry, one or few classes I could not attend. One is Portland. I went, and another week I became a little sick. Otherwise, it was a very beautiful place. And many people watches our satsang from Kali Mandir.
They get posted on YouTube as well as our podcast. And they're posted on Facebook, on YouTube, and our podcast, our Podbean.
These sadhus, I did not meet Swami Jagadananda. He died in 1951 in Vrindavan. At that time I was in Calcutta. I was in school. And the other Swami, Muktananda, I met him many times in Banaras. Thank you. Anyhow, if you have any questions, you can ask me. Next will be Kripa of Prarthana by Jagadananda. He wrote, what is Kripa and how to pray. I collected some from the old Udbodhan
The
magazine.
same Swami you read today?
Mm.
Okay. So first his life and then some of his teachings.
Yes. Many, many stories of the olden days.
Maharaj, when will you return? When will you return?
Hopefully in January, but I'm not sure. Kali Mandir, very special place.
It's amazing, Swamiji, the two Swamis you read from today. One, the two Swamis you read, one tremendous worker and for the public and for the devotees. One that you described as a monk's monk, training the intellectual life of the sadhus. But from the same order, same tradition, so totally very different.
Different. Another thing I was listening, Swami Chetanananda ji. Usha met him. Gabriel, you and Usha went to Chetanananda, remember, in Pankhal, in Hardwar? You took a picture of Usha and Chetanananda. I have that picture in our... That Swami, Pankhal, is a great scholar. And do you know what he used to say? I shall work and you boys will not work. Oh no. You memorize 4 verses, come to me, I shall explain only those 4 verses. He used to force them to memorize so that I can explain to you. Only I shall work and you will not work? No. You will have to work also.
To attend the class, they had to work beforehand. On Monday is Ganesh Chaturthi, so we tried 5 Ganeshas. 5 artists are here. Should be.
I hope your Ganesha will give you some money, Usha. Ganesha.
He's very cute.
So many gods and goddesses I have lost. I remember once I did the puja. So I was a little scared. Uncle Usha, if I do not give flower to a particular deity, he will be mad at me. Yeah, to Guru Devi.
In the early days, Swamiji, you did Amabasha Kali Puja many times.
Yeah, I did one.
In the other apartment a couple times, and here also a couple times.
Once Usha was doing worship, and she was repeating in Sanskrit and murdering the mantra. So I said, I did not say anything. When the puja was over, uncle, you murdered all these mantras? Then she said, why don't you teach me? Uncle, if I teach you, Ramakrishna will be mad at me. Ramakrishna will think, I love that Austrian, German, tongues, broken mantra. Who are you to correct it? Ramakrishna will be mad at me. But I love that girl's broken mantras, murdered mantras. Who are you to correct him? I love to hear that.
counting on that, Swamiji. That Thakur likes our broken mantras. That's what he's getting here. All of us.
She was fearless. It all depends on devotion. Before coming in training center, after 2 years, they will teach you how to perform ritual, worship. So I joined in Advaita Ashrama, there is no puja, no shrine, nothing. So when the training center during puja session, I became sick. So I did not do the puja. Then when I was transferred to Hollywood, Swami Gomiranandaji said, "Did you learn any puja?" Hollywood is a very ritualistic center. I told him, "No, you better learn, otherwise those girls, Hollywood girls will teach you." Then I came to Hollywood. Then I was in deep trouble. And what happened in 1975, 76, 77? 3 years. I did all the 16 items puja, even Durga Puja, even Kali Puja. 3 years I did Kali Puja in Hollywood. Elaborate 16 items. So 9 o'clock till 3 o'clock in the morning, 6 hours. I went to Tubuko, memorized the mantra, did all the mudras and all those things, learned. Then Bhakti Prana was there. I'm going to Bhakti ji, you sit down and let me have a rehearsal so that I can smoothly pass the test. And
we also had to do in front of her, Swamiji.
Really, I did 3 puja. People didn't believe that I never did any puja. They thought that I'm an expert pujari. I did puja very well.
Maharaj, I still remember she gave excellent advice. She said, "When in doubt, ring the bell." Did you forget a mantra?
Yeah, that was Bhakti Prana's advice. Very good advice. It gives you strength to cover, to boldly do. She was a great pujari though, Swamiji. She really was expert.
But when I went to St. Louis, the Midwest people, they're mainly Protestant, you know. I explained to him what the Kali Puja is, what Shivaratri. I explained all those things to them. And then I gave a lecture, ritual and its meaning. I explained. Even now, during the puja in St. Louis, 10-15 minutes I explain what we are going to do. But first you will see, I take a flower, I put this Kurma Mudra, and you repeat the mantra. That is the meditation mantra of that particular deity. Then I put on the flower on that head. That means I am meditating on that particular deity. Then Gandha, Pushpa, Dhupa, Deepa, Naivedya. Panchupachar. Gandha, perfumes. Pushpa, flower. Dhupa, oil, incense. Deepa, light. Naivedya, food. These 5 items worship. In this way I explain to them what it means. The people understand you. And we put big screen, those who sit at back, they can see. Anyhow, I explained that what it means.